Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt with our Friday workout. Let's begin today with 3 minutes of your choice warm-up pace cardio, and then hop off and grab a PVC pipe. We're gonna do a little bit of shoulder warm-up, and I want you to do PVC pipe for the first round. Second round, I want you to do it with the barbell so you feel more of an efficiency upgrade when you go from the shoulder press to the push press, but that's what we're gonna do. So with the PVC pipe, we're practicing shoulder press, so there's tuck that head, vertical bar path, making sure we create a good stable foundation. We lock those arms out in the overhead position with the bar right over the top of our ears. After you get 5 reps of that, then we're adding the dip drive press. Feel the speed increase, feel the efficiency increase when we go to that movement, and that's what we will be doing for our strength work today after the warm-up, right? Next will be some PVC pass-throughs, just stretching out the shoulders further, and then another one for the pass, which is the door frame stretch. So I lay the inside of my arm flat against the rig or against the wall and rotate my head and shoulders away so I get a big stretch on the pectoral muscles, which is what you use primarily for our pushing movements, okay? Last one I want you to do is just a couple of somersaults, whether you do these on the ground or we do some like handstand kick up or some cartwheel, get upside down somehow, some way, okay? So that is the task for the end of the warm up there. And then we can go into the push press. So the push press is gonna be heavy. I would like for it to be, if you maxed out push press, love for this to be in the 90+% range. If you don't know your max because you didn't do it last Friday, then this is going to be a way that you get close to finding out, right? If you will go to close to a threshold lift on this. But they'll be from the rack, but push press, I've got my heavy weight on the bar, dip, drive, press, reset to my shoulders, dip, drive, press, and then rack it. So it is 2 reps only. It is heavy reps, and I would like to see some escalation. So if you know your max, then you can start in like the mid 80s for your percentages and try to top out in like the low to mid 90s. That would be fantastic. If you don't know your max, then I want you to go to something that feels a little bit risky. We don't want to fail in an overhead lift, and the movement won't allow you to fail really, because you just won't go up any further when that happens, and you'll either drop the bar to the ground or bring it back to your shoulder. So this is a really safe one to ditch. It's a safe one to not know what your max is on it, because the movement itself won't let you get into a position where you're like, you've got it locked out over your head and now you feel unstable. That's just not how it works, right? If you can get it all the way to that lockout position, then odds are you can bring it back down safely, okay? And as always, when it's a matter of safety, just you and the bar go opposite directions, okay? So if that means you have to drop it from overhead and step out from underneath it to be safe, then do that, right? I would prefer, obviously, control at all times, but if you need to ditch it because you're gonna drop it on your head, then ditch it. All right, next thing we're gonna do is Flex Friday. So this is our superset of pull-ups and bench press first. So we're gonna have our bench press set up, and these are gonna be sets of 8, so we're in that like 60 to 75% range for the bench press. Shouldn't be threshold lifts, but they should make you sweat, right? You should be like struggling on the 7th and 8th reps. When you finish your 8 reps of bench press, then you can go to your 4 reps of pull-ups. And if you do this in opposite orders, that's totally fine too, especially if you're spotting somebody. But 4 reps of a strict pull-up. If you can add a little weight to it, add a little weight to it. If you can do it unassisted and then it takes you, but you have to like rest once in the middle of it, I'm okay with that too. If you want to do some jumping pull-ups where you hold your chin over the bar and then do a slow eccentric on the way down, that's another fantastic way to build pull-up strength. But do something slower and stricter with lower volume for the pull-ups today, as opposed to back on Monday when we did the conditioning version, which was faster and lighter, right? And this is a good concept for you guys to grasp about what I program every week, is that most of the time we will have some versions of the movement domain that are low, or that are slow and low volume and very, very challenging, and other versions that are faster and lighter and more speed oriented. And that's a really good combination. It's called conjugate training, that all came from Louis Simmons. That's his concept that has been adapted into the constantly varied high intensity functional fitness world within the last like 10 years or so. Anyway, when you finish both of those lifts for 4 sets, right? So you do all your bench, you do all your pull-ups, all 4 sets, then move on to the circuit, and the circuit is mostly shoulders. So you're gonna do some plate twists. So plate twists, we're punching that plate out in front of us in the power position and going over and back is 1, 2, 3. So over and back 12 times, and then you're gonna have a small to medium band, and we've got 3 exercises to do with the small to medium band. The first is a 45-degree front raise. So my arms are spread apart at 45 degrees and I'm raising just above parallel, right? So just above parallel with that. Then I'm gonna grab one end of it and I'm doing pull aparts. So I'm squeezing the muscles between my shoulder blades as opposed to waving and doing a tricep extension. My elbows should stay straight on this exercise at all times. And then the last one is an upright row. For the upright row, you may be able to grab a bigger band than this light one, but definitely get a band that gets you a good amount of fatigue by the time you get to the end of the set, with 15 reps of that band upright row. There is some extra credit for arms afterwards, some dumbbell curls, some triceps extensions, and some sit-ups. I recommend doing those just to finish the whole circuit of upper body and get a really good pump out of the workout for today. You'll feel great afterwards, and then I'll see you guys on Saturday for the last one of the week.